Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Living the Sweet Life. I'm your host, TJ Sweet, and on this podcast, we are going to help you go from where you are to where you want to be. We're going to help you do that by helping you reshape your mindset, live with intention, and look at the world through a grateful lens. So thank you every week, every Mindset Monday, for tuning into these episodes. More and more of you are listening and sharing comments with me and messages with me, and that inspires me. So thank you for making a difference in my life by making a difference in your life through these episodes. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button now so you get notifications every Monday, every Mindset Monday when they come out. So you remind yourself, one, new episodes are out, but two, you're somebody who's learning, growing, and becoming. Now this week, this is about intention, about maybe reshaping your mindset, about saying no, and how that isn't a negative thing about you. It's actually a positive thing about you keeping your own priorities in your own life. We're going to dive a little deeper into how to feel more confident about saying no, but maybe even how to say no in a way that still aligns with who you are. So the importance of saying no is really about protecting your energy and your focus. Because if we're saying no to something, it allows us to say yes to the most important things. But saying no really, it empowers you. It is a subtle way of setting boundaries, and it's a form of self-respect, allowing you to conserve your energy and your focus to what truly aligns with your values and your goals. Because there are going to be people in your life that ask of you and ask you to do things and ask you to go. It could be friends, it could be people in the community, and if you say yes to everything so much that it drains your energy and adds more stress to your life, and you never really feel like you get to be you or you have time for yourself, you're never going to be at your best. And ultimately, the people who say yes to everybody want to be everything to everybody, but they forget who they need to be for themselves. So when you say no, it actually empowers you to be at your best, right? So kind of unlearn this idea of I have to say yes to everything, otherwise I'm going to offend somebody. But what if I told you that the people that ask you for things and the people that ask you to go somewhere, they trust you to say no if it's not good for you, if it's not good for your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, whatever it is. Because I grew up kind of saying yes to everybody. And so this is why this resonates with me so much, is I felt like I needed to because I was afraid of offending somebody or not showing up for somebody. So I didn't really communicate my needs. I just put everybody else in front of myself, which sounds admirable, but without borders, that can become destructive in your own life. So when you say no to people, because you're saying yes to others, if you say no to everybody, we can have a different conversation. But I don't think that's why we're here today. I think we're here today to give you the power and give you that nudge to say no when you've already said yes to so many other things. Because ultimately, it's not about the quantity of work that we do. It's about the quality of the work that we do. And your goals may not be everybody else's goals. And so truthfully, going through college, I didn't have a drop of alcohol in my life till I was 25. That was really more probably just proving a point because my friends did and I didn't want to, but I also knew that I saw how they acted when they drank. And I didn't want that. And so I just said no every single time. I still went with them, but I said no because I didn't align with who I was. Did it create tension and trouble? Sure. Was I the designated driver? Absolutely. But I also said no to them about going out all the time because I had goals. I had things that I wanted to accomplish, that I wanted to work on. And I'm comfortable saying no now on a Friday night if I want to read, if I want to learn, if I want to grow, if I want to attend something that's going to make me a better person. I still say no to going to do some of these fun things that other people are doing, but I had to disassociate myself from that of like saying yes every time doesn't mean that I'm a good friend. Saying no and saying why actually creates better friendships because there's boundaries. And if you say no to somebody and they don't respect that and they give you trouble for it and whatever that may be, they may not be your people. And we're going to talk about that. That's the third thing I want to talk about. But really understanding saying no to others can also mean saying yes to yourself. Because when you say no, it prevents this constant sense of burnout. Because when we focus less on doing more and just more on giving more to ourselves, to the things that we are saying yes to, we start to have this sense of managing and balancing our life. And, by refusing to take on too many commitments, you kind of ensure that you can fully commit and fully engage and give your best to the projects and the relationships and the people that matter the most, because I know who matters the most to me, and they know that. And it's not just because of the words I say, but it's the amount of times I say yes to them. But we've also set boundaries so that they know they're not asking too much, but I also extend myself and reach out to them because they mean the most. And I'm never going to forget this lesson that I learned very early in my life of keep the important things as the important things. Sometimes saying no is the important thing, because then you can say yes to the people that you meet that mean the most to you and that you love the most and the goals that you have. And your goals may not be the same as other people, like I've already said, but this idea of personal agency matters and should be honored. So your life also matters, not just saying yes to everybody else's life. There's an and to this, right? And so there are times where you have to think, why am I saying no? Is it because you don't want to be around those people? Is it because it doesn't align with who you are? Is it because you're just tired? Is it because you're avoiding something? Like, we've already talked about self-awareness, but this is where you kind of really have to think what matters the most. Because whenever you start to make decisions, just let that be your one true North Star. Who and what matters the most? And if I say yes to this, does it make me say no to those people and those things? Now, when you say no, it allows in your personal life and some of your growth, it really does allow for more growth because, you're saying no to some of the distractions. And, there's lots of distractions and lots of kind of what I'll say is non-essential things that we could distract ourselves with. And I'm not talking about procrastination. I'm just talking about distraction right now. But you create more space within yourself and in your day and in your time to contribute to your own life and to contribute in your own success and your relationships that you have. And so there's a lot of times where you can choose doing something that keeps you busy, or you can choose something that keeps you productive. There's a big difference between those two things. But, as you create more space for those things in your day, you have to do this with intention, right? And so this is where, you can really look at your day. And so when somebody, asks something of you, really kind of look at your day. And if there's time for it, then say yes, as long as it doesn't distract you from the things that are the most important. But this idea of saying no, shutting a door, if saying no to somebody shuts the door, it's probably not a door you want to be walking through anyway. Give no in some context, right? Or you can just say no. And if those people say, you know what, we're not going to invite you anymore, it's probably not a place you wanted to be invited to in the first place. So think about what you're thinking about when your effort is high and your focus is high. I'd be willing to bet that it's probably the people that are the most important to you and maybe the impact you want to have in their lives. So say no is to those things that go against that, right? And so the right people in your life will support you. They'll challenge you and they'll hold you accountable. Those are your people. So those are the people you can say no to, and they may even ask, how can I support you? And if somebody says no to you, don't get offended by that. Just ask how they're doing. Ask if there's something that you can be doing for them in a more meaningful way. Because people that, and I encounter this a lot, because again, I have some pretty great and incredible and large goals for my life and the way that I want to impact the people that I love the most and I'm the most grateful for. So people that encourage you to go against that, or maybe cheat on your goals, or all they're really doing is making themselves feel better for not pursuing their goals if you also don't pursue yours. I'm going to say that one more time. So the people that push you and say, oh, just come on, it's just one meal, it's just one night out, it's just one whatever, right, that they're trying to push you to say yes to, what they're really doing as justifying them not pursuing their own goals and them not actually holding themselves accountable. But whenever you do that with company, it makes it feel better. But you don't have to be that company. You can say no. You can set boundaries so that you can actually maintain some sort of sense of self and some sort of balance and some sort of schedule, because we need that and you deserve that. And maybe it's and if you want to feel better when you say, no, I can't tonight, but what about Thursday? What about a different day? If you still want to go do the thing, just set some boundaries so that you can do it in a way that doesn't take away from your life, but still adds to the relationships that you have. But it's so important for you to stay true to you and stay true to what you want. Because again, everybody's kind of living their own life and dealing with their own things, but you have to be able to protect your energy, protect your mindset. There are some people that probably take more energy from you than they give it. And so I'm very intentional about how much time I spend with those people. It's not that I don't respect them and appreciate them in my life. I just know I have to set the boundary and say no to hanging out with those people all the time, because I know how it feels when I'm around them. And so I'm still honoring the friendship and the relationship, but it's just a little different whenever it's not just at the sake of my own mental well-being or even physical well-being. For example, there are times where people are going to say, even if you have to be at work at 7 a.m., people say, you can still come out with us till midnight. They don't care that you're going to try to go to work on 5 or 6 hours of sleep and you're going to feel terrible the next day. That's just the fact of the matter. You have to care more about that and say, I'll come out, but I'm going home at 9 because I need to be at work and I'm going to, show up at my best at work at 7 a.m. So there's an and here, but you have to take control of it. You have to be comfortable saying no. Now, there's also going to be times where you're going to be distracted by things that aren't from other people, that are just in happening around you. And you're going to have to learn to say no to those things, to honor the things that matter the most to you. This isn't just about other people trying to take time and effort and energy away from you. This is also just the external world. You're going to have to make some choices in saying no to the distractions and saying yes to the things that you want the most, so that you can show up in a more meaningful way for the people that you appreciate the most. So this idea of saying no means that you can say yes to more meaningful things, and you can keep the most important things as the most important things. Doesn't mean that you don't have a strong work ethic if you say that you aren't willing to take on a new task. Maybe it means you want to do your best, not just do a lot of things well. You want to do a few things with excellence, you want to do a few things greatly, but you can't do everything if you're stretched so thin, if you're not able to sleep and maintain your routines and all these other things that we do in our lives, and these systems and processes that we set up to accomplish our goals. Part of the systems and processes means protecting your time, your energy, your heart, your soul, your body, your schedule. You have to protect it with intention. So whenever you start to feel like you're getting too busy and you're saying yes to too many things, don't feel like you're slacking or not working as hard if you start to say no to some other things. Start to think about what matters the most and who matters the most. Because if you say yes to so many things that you can't spend time with the people that you're the most grateful for, you're saying yes to the wrong things and saying no to the most important things. It's a self-reflection you're going to have to do from time to time. So I suggest you do this every time you get asked to do something, whether it's in your business or in your personal life. Is this something that takes me away from the people that I'm the most grateful for, that you're always going to wish that you had more time with? Because at the end of the day, I've been able to talk to people in a nursing home, and I gave kind of a motivational talk for the people there about gratitude and mindset. And the one lesson I learned from them, you never wish you had more time at work. You always wish you had more time with the people that you loved and you're the most grateful for. And we don't have to be at the end to apply that lesson in our life. We find our identity in saying yes and being an achiever and doing great things and accomplishing a lot. We find a lot of identity in that. But my encouragement for you is to focus on being more famous at home than you are at work. Because the people at home are going to love you no matter what. The people at work, if they're only going to love you when you say yes, then they're not loving you for who you are. They're loving you for what you can do for them. Meanwhile, the people at home and the people that you're the closest with and you're the most grateful for, you are enough for them. And so say no to the things that distract you from them and saying yes to those people more often. I hope this episode resonates with you. I hope you say no at least one more time this week to something that takes you away from the people that you love and people that you're the most grateful for, because you can still pursue everything you want. You can achieve incredible things. Just don't do it at the sake and at the mercy of the people that you love and you're the most grateful for. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Take a minute to subscribe to this channel so that you get notifications when these episodes come out, because we're always growing as people, and we're going to help you grow more as a person than we will just at your job. And I'll remind you, like I do with every episode, that you always have the power and the choice to reshape your mindset, live with intention, and look at the world through a grateful lens. Until the next episode.